incredible. They beat the Washington Capitals. They have a 5-1 record. You can finally say it, buddy. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the 6 games in Stanley Cup champions! Hi! Victory, puppy! Plan number 8!
I have no idea what I'm doing.
God, to the riches only! This team is ruining my life! Is that the Jurassic Park theme? Yeah, don't ruin the moment. Victory, puppies, boys! The Leafs win the cup. Go ahead, have a sip. Have a sip there, Charlie. All right, Iggy, it's your turn. Have a sip. Oh my God, the drool thing. Have a sip of victory, buddy. We are the champions. Iggy finally got his cup. The Leafs win 4-2 over the Washington Capitals. Let's start with a quote brought to you by Isabel Kershidian, Lars Eller on the Maple Leafs. We were just playing against Crosby and Malkin, so everything kind of drops off from there. It's not that special, to be honest. It's a good team like a lot of others. They'll probably be a playoff team, I would think. And you know what? Poor form, Lars Eller, poor form. Look, the Washington Capitals are the reigning Stanley Cup champions. Everyone knows that. Congratulations. But perhaps a summer of champagne numbed his taste buds, because it would appear he decided to line the brim of the cup with salt. And here I was thinking Caesars were our thing. Oh, the Leafs didn't look that good. We sort of let that one get away from us. You would think the Washington Capitals, of all teams, would understand that almost winning does not matter. A lot of people, myself included, like to point out that the Columbus Blue Jackets almost swept them in the first round. And in case you didn't watch last playoffs, they very did not. Leafs almost got stomped in this one. Didn't! It was great. Let's talk about the game. And this is a big game, though. This is the first big test for the Leafs, everyone's saying. First 5 games, they were great. The power play looked great. Matthews looked great. Morgan Riley's Bobby Orr, apparently. But all 5 of the teams that the Leafs played in their first 5 games did not make the playoffs last season, and their first playoff opponent, the reigning Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals. Only 15 seconds in, it all goes wrong. It's a 2-on-1. Kuznetsov takes a shot. Rebound. Chandler Stevenson scores. 18 seconds in, the Capitals lead. Now, just last game, we were talking about pinches and how it's not always the defender's fault when they get caught. Well, in this play, Zaitsev's the one already pinching in like 2 seconds into the game. Kapanen's the forward racing back when it's a 2-on-1, so people thought it was Kapanen's fault. I like this from Justin Fisher. I can't see how that goal is Kapanen's issue. It's Zaitsev's job to make sure he has support before he pinches. Kapanen was too far away. What have I been saying for years and decades and eons? Talk! I don't know if it was Kapanen or Zaitsev or Marlowe there on the far wing. Please talk. And Jake, it feels like I'm picking on him because he was the only defenseman back on a 2-on-1. I gotta pick on him. I was always taught, Don Cherry, rock'em sock'em, you take away the pass. So he should have covered Stevenson. But then last year when I said that, people go, no, you're supposed to take the shooter. So in that case, he should have taken Kuznetsov. He took neither! And you could argue, well, playing the middle, he was taking the rebound. There was a rebound, he didn't get it! The whole thing was a mess top to bottom, and what a terrible way to start the game. Next shift, the Leafs are jittery with the puck, and Matthews is making mistakes with the puck. Stick handling, Matthews. And Babcock, clear as day, he's smiling, he's laughing, he goes, chill out, guys. You know, this team is still very young. The superstars are young, the guys who do the boatload of the work are young, but it's their 3rd or 4th year in the league for a lot of them. The baby fat's gone. You've been scored on first 5 out of the 6 games you played. You got scored on less than 20 seconds into this one. You looked horrible on the first shift, horrible on the second shift. Come to play! And they did end up getting it back. The Leafs looked good for the majority of the first period, but because their opening 20 seconds sucked, they were down. But it's okay, the Leafs get a power play. That's an automatic goal, right? Nope, Capitals 2-on-1. Eller over to DSP. Holy mackerel. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, only guy who showed up. Holy crap. But okay, they get it back. What doesn't help is, holy moly, are the Leafs playing a goalie. Braden Holtby looks sharp in this one, and unfortunately, the posts behind him look even sharper. Tavares and Hyman getting robbed. Matthews hits the post. Kapanen robbed at point-blank range. So you kind of got the impression if the Leafs were going to score in this one, they weren't going to be able to finesse it into the net like they have been, or simply rely on a Matthews wrist shot. You're going to have to get a little greasy. Second period, Matthews goes into the corner himself. Bless Zach Hyman, who I think is doing a wonderful job at the Tavares unit. He's doing great, but he was babysitting Matthews for the first 2 years of his career. He was going into the corners. He was getting the pucks. Kind of ignoring the fact that Austin Matthews is a stick-lifting musketeer. Kapanen dumps it into the corner. Looks like the Caps are going to get it. Nope! Matthews gets it himself up to the point. Ron Haynes, he gets it, puts it on. Did he score again? No. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, it's Kapanen. Oh. Early in the first, Kasperi tap it in, makes it 1-1. And there's your grease. And they reviewed it, but it's great. I felt confident because of the Taves thing. Kind of sucks to have that precedent that early in the season. I'm like, okay, if that counted, this is going to count. And hey, forget the fact that Kapanen got his 2nd of the season. Hainsey got an assist. Matthews with the secondary assist, his 4th assist of the season. All right, in his quest to get more assists than goals, the score is now 9-4. You're catching up, buddy. One little thing that the broadcast needs to get away from, and and fans on Twitter and everything need to get away from? Oh, right away, Brooks Orpik was going high stick. Yeah, of course he was. That's his job. You know, we often talk about goalies whining and getting indignant and all thinking everything is goaltender interference, but if they're not trying to find some way to take the goal away from the other team, you're not doing your job. All right, I don't have a very athletic background to draw experience from, but I did dragon boat in high school. You know what we were taught to do if the race looked close at the end? Celebrate like we won. Something tells me high school dragon boat doesn't exactly have Olympic photo technology. Bend reality a little bit. Celebrate like you won, act like the stick was high, act like the skater was in your crease. If you do it quickly enough, who knows, it might affect the call on the ice. They're gonna review it anyway, and if they do, the call on the ice is the tiebreaker. So I guess what I'm saying is kudos to Brooks Orpik for at least trying, but for everyone else, this whole, oh, he did it right away thing, it means nothing. Stop taking players' word for it, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not necessarily cheating. Whatever it is, they should be doing it because they're trying to win a game. Shortly after, oh, geez, the Leafs go on the penalty kill. Kuznetsov's got the puck, but he's just standing there. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. It's okay, guys. I think Freddie's got it. Kuznetsov takes the shot, he scores! That shot was so damn mean. Freddie left like a puck-sized gap in the short side top corner between his head and shoulder. Well, we think it's a small gap. Kuznetsov's looking at it like, that's pretty huge. His 4th of the season, and wow, he looks bored of goal scoring already too. I don't like Kuznetsov anymore. I like this version of him better. The Tractor Chelyabinsk Evgeny, where he played in the KHL and didn't hurt my feelings and had a bear eating a hockey stick as a logo. Fun fact, remember a few years ago when a town in Russia got hit by a meteor? Yeah, that was Chelyabinsk, where Tractor plays, and it actually blew out the arena's windows. Just like that goal blew out the windows of my brain. Now, we talked about how the Leafs players need to get over their jitters. Goalies have to get it back almost every single game when they get scored on, including when they get completely smoked like Freddie did in this case. But he decided, darn it, that is the last goal I am allowing this game. In Danish. He said it in Danish. And thank goodness he did, because the Leafs did not look good for a big chunk of the second. Capitals only getting 9 shots against. While that's not bad, the Leafs had 5 shots that whole period, man. But one of them's already gone in, maybe another. Lindholm gives it to Kadri in the corner. Kadri out front to Brown. Blam! Wide. Well, okay. Gardner grabs it along the half boards. Does he settle it down? No! He sees Per Lindholm drive the net. Per tips the puck. Lindholm, and now the Leafs have a pair. I tweeted that, and a couple of you last night said that only works if you pronounce his name correctly. Well, for that, I suggest you put some respect on Per Lindholm's name, because you shall now refer to him as NHL goal scorer Per Lindholm. Leafs tie it up. And if we're going to criticize him, credit where credit's due, Jake Gardner with great vision. And hey, it should also be mentioned that in this game, heading into this game, Jake Gardner had 0 shots on goal. And I'm watching this game going, oh, he's about to take a shot. He missed. Here comes another. He missed. Oh, he is not without a Corsi attempt. He just can't get the thing on net. But the streak was finally broken. He got 1 shot in this game, and he also picked up assist on Lindholm's first NHL goal. Lindholm, by the way, 27 years old. So he doesn't make the NHL until most players are in their prime. He signs with the Leafs to be their 4th line center. For whatever reason, they're like, guess what? You're on the wing now. The lesson's there. Work hard, stick with it, and take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. And Kadri went to the net to go get the puck. That's a veteran player. We head to the 3rd. Kapanen gets a shot. Rebound. Oh! How do you whiff on that, Cappy? I thought you were used to scoring 2 goals in a game in this building. But about 6 minutes in, the Leafs get a power... Oh, they put up the 2nd unit. Who cares? They're never gonna score. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The Gardner gives it to Brown. That's not gonna do anything. Andreas Janssen with the shot. Who's that guy? He was a healthy scratch last game. Rebound to who is that handsome man? I've never seen him before. Josh Levo gives the Leafs 3-0, and they take the lead on the power play. Josh Leavelander. Holtby sprawling out, almost stopping that one. Congrats to Levo for getting the first non-tip-in goal. Holtby was a beast in this one, and luckily Levo left all alone by the Caps penalty killers. This power play unit, man, talk about the misfits. Gardner, everyone's been ripping on him forever. Connor Brown, people rip on him seemingly for the fact that he's not Austin Matthews. Marleau gets put in a shutdown role, scores 27 goals anyway, gets promoted to the 4th line, and all anyone can talk about is how he's so old and they need to trade away that contract. I meant to say first line, but I'm not going to reshoot it. Andreas Janssen finally gets back into the lineup after being a healthy scratch, and up until a few weeks ago, almost every piece of clothing that Josh Levo owns is autographed by Mike Babcock because he keeps thinking he's a fan. And who should I make this out to? Please play me. And there you go. And enough of me getting autographed from some of the players. Matt Martin's right over there. So congrats to Janssen and Levo, the primary assist and the goal scorer on this play. Babcock took a chance on him. He's going through a bit of a rotation. I'm glad Janssen got put in because I think out of the guys in the rotation, he's the best player. But when you see Ennis get scratched, you're like, all right, guys on the periphery of the lineup, Levo hasn't been scratched yet. The PPG ought to help keep him in the lineup, and the Leafs have the lead. And John Tavares with his impression of a smile from the bench after getting whacked in the face with a stick, leading to the power play in the first place. And the Leafs did let the Capitals get away from them in a little bit, squirted away from defensemen, got their opportunity opportunities, a couple odd man rushes. Freddie was called upon a few times and looked very sharp, but that's his job as the goalie. Oshie missing the net with 3 minutes left was super. Little over a minute and a half to go. The Leafs have pressure. The Caps can't clear the zone. Riley over to Kapanen, shovel pass to Matthews. He's not gonna miss. 10! Matthews buries his 10th of the season with a minute 39 to go, and now I'm doing some math. All right, there's about 100 seconds left. The Caps would have to score a goal once every 50 seconds, so that's doable. Even 30 seconds left, I'm like, once every 15? Well. Remembering that the Leafs allowed a goal just 18 seconds in. But time runs out. The Leafs beat the reigning, defending Stanley Cup champions, improved to 5-1-0 on the season without William Nylander, no less, and Freddie Anderson with 25 saves is the Leafs MVP. But you know, for as shaky and imperfect as the Leafs looked at times, they had a terrible start. The Caps sort of ran their show a little bit in the second period. Freddie had to come up big. The Leafs outshot them 28-27. In the third period, which began tied, by the way, the shots were 14-8 for the Leafs. Igor Ozhiganov back in the lineup for this one. Bit of a gritty game, playing just over 14 minutes. 4 blocks, 2 shots, and holy mackerel, that shot. They keep talking about how hard his shot is, and I'm like, where? Use it. I think it was Dmitry Jaskin who had the displeasure of blocking that shot, and wow. Never good when you see the guy block it, go, I'm fine, put weight on the foot, and go, I'm not! And maybe Babcock watched the last video because Travis Dermott playing about 15 and a half minutes despite taking a penalty. That's better than 12 anyway. Gardner playing 21-43, Riley playing 21-24. Both of those sound about right until you realize Ron Hainsey played over 23 minutes. Babs, what are you doing? Well, he played over 3.5 minutes shorthanded. That still means he played almost 20 minutes even strength, Mike. Caps fans, if I were you. Gee, I gotta be honest, I'd probably be acting the exact way that you're acting. Everything seems to come back to, yeah, but we got the cup. Like, I mean, you guys know that the regular season is the regular season. It is what it is. It doesn't make or break you, and the first 6 games certainly don't make or break you. You've done well so far anyway, and it's not like you played a bad game. A lot of you I saw on Twitter seem to be like, yeah, congrats on winning, I don't care, we have the cup. And that is about the same way I would act if I were you. Dude, the anthem singer has a ring. You know he was holding the mic with that hand on purpose. People talk about keeping that ring at home for safekeeping. I'm wearing that everywhere. LFR questions. Have you voted yet? No, I have not, but I'm going to. I don't know how it is everywhere, but I know through at least a bunch of Ontario, there's a lot of municipal elections coming out, city councilors, mayor, stuff like that. You might look at that and go, well, that's a pretty piddly election. I don't care. I'm not going to vote in that. I don't even know who the candidates are. Well, you might want to do some research because these are the smaller elections, the more grassroots elections that actually affect really specific things around you. I don't know what it's like in Europe or elsewhere around the world. I know in the States you got some elections coming up and you gotta get your voting card or something. I'm not gonna tell you to vote because people fought to defend your right to vote. I feel like I shouldn't have to do that. You know why you should vote? Because it's a good idea. My vote wouldn't even count. Yes, it does. Shut up and go vote. This team is making it worth it to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the games. That wasn't a question, so let me ask one of my own. How do you do it? Kasperi Kapanen, the real deal? Yeah, he is the real deal. And I tell you what, maybe Nylander's helping out his friend. Because while Kapanen is playing on the first line with Matthews and racking up points with Matthews, guess what? That guy's contract is up at the end of the season too. Hey, the Leafs have a bunch of good players that they have to pay. What a great problem to have. Their problems used to be that they sucked, so I would consider this an upgrade. From Mike Gianfrini, can you rate my pupper? He's a good golden doodle. What a good boy. I give him 420 out of 69. The team that once ruined your life is now ruining everyone else's. How does that make you feel, Pocket Square? Don't friggin' call me Pocket Square. Pocket Square. I guess Danny Fleming watches ice surfing on Sportsnet's Twitter every Tuesday night from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. The team hasn't ruined anyone's life yet. It's 6 games in, they're 5-1, and that's wonderful, but we're playing for the popcorn maker. And they don't award that thing until it's hot outside again, and it ain't gonna be that way for some time. I hate to be the bearer of Canadian news. One last thing before we go. I've been asking for some money for charity recently, and I'm gonna ask again. This time it's a different charity though. Sick Kids, as you know, is a huge hospital so entrenched in the identity of Toronto, and it's helped thousands and thousands of kids over the years. My mom got open heart surgery there in the 60s. Well, they're trying to build a new Sick Kids. And Sick Kids is trying to unite every group in the city, every lefty, every lifter. And hockey fans, we are the enforcers. Grab childhood illnesses by the collar, give it a couple rapid punches, and then finish it with a big hook. If you would like to join the fight to bring a new Sick Kids hospital to Toronto, you can get one of these shirts or one of these hoodies at one of the links down below. I'm gonna put it in the description of this video. And if you can't be bothered, you just want something to type in sickkidsfoundation.com. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe, gosh darn it, if you really liked it. Tell all your friends that the Leafs haven't won the cup just yet, but they're looking pretty good. Pretty good.